The OCCS really is here to mediate and resolve consumer complaints that arise from any goods or services that are provided by practitioners and businesses regulated by the GOC. So we're there to help both sides come to a resolution. If there's a complaint that can't be resolved within the practice, we're there to try and sort that out, and then to use that information and the knowledge that we gain in doing that to help the industry overall to maintain the high standards of customer care that they offer, and to share best practice. The OCCS, by the nature of the complaints that it handles and the experience it gains, is able to feed that back to practitioners and also to members of the public. So its role, I think, really is to inform. It will be to set out perhaps deal with some common misconceptions and to give some advice. So recommend, you've got to go back to the practice, you've got to give them the opportunity to try and resolve it, and to help explain some of the common problems that do arise. But that will be there really for the public to find. We're not necessarily there to encourage people to complain. It's really once they've got a complaint, we're there really to inform them. It may be they've got a query, and if that can be dealt with by looking on the website to explain, that's what they mean, then that's helped everybody. It's helped the practice and that consumer. The service is there to mediate. It was put out by the GOC as a mediation service, and it's there to find a way of resolving the issues, and that means that it's not pro-consumer, it's not pro-practitioner. We're there to look at what's gone on and to help them resolve it, not to apportion any blame or to make any judgment call, and we're really there as the facilitators of that. We have given ourselves targets in terms of dealing with the complaints and resolving them, because I think actually the quicker it can be resolved, the better. We have a greater chance of resolving a matter if it can be dealt with and you can keep the momentum going. Sometimes there's investigation, but it's better to get it resolved and away from everybody's, at the forefront of their minds. But ideally, we would look to resolve a complaint from getting the necessary consent forms through really within 45 days. That would be our ideal target, to have it resolved. If the dispute can't be resolved, certainly at an initial stage, then we will then make a proposal. So we will say, okay, we've listened to everything, we've got to the bottom of what's gone on, there may be a disagreement here, but this is a situation. We would consider a fair outcome to be, and we'll make that suggestion. We've got no power to impose that, but we almost give that, this is our objective assessment. If the parties both say, okay, we'll accept that, then fantastic. If not, though, we then offer the consumer and the practitioner the route of going to our senior mediators, and then, as mentioned, mainly Jane or Fiona will then look at what's gone on, and they will speak to both parties to see if, it gives an appeal process really. It gives an ability for another person to look at it within the team. At that stage, however, if it cannot be resolved, then some complaints can't be, and that will be the reality of the situation, and the consumer and the practitioner will be told, we've done everything we can to try and mediate this, but for whatever reason that's not the case. I mean, I would see those being few and far between, because generally there's a desire to want to resolve an issue and put it to bed. There may be a need for the OCCS to obtain some clinical input, some technical guidance really on a minor clinical issue, because it's establishing we have some in-house knowledge to assess whether the prescription is accurate and what the visual needs of that patient. But we may, if there's a dispute as to whether there was an accurate assessment or whether the prescription has been made up accurately, we would then look to get some clinical advice, and that would be from a range of expertise really across the country, people who we have engaged with previously, and those that can give on the ground common sense assessment really of what's happened. The visibility and the profile of the service will be raised over coming months. There's a new website, the web address remains the same, so we have that consistency, and www.opticalcomplaints.co.uk, but we'll be looking very much at really providing guidance to promote the service and raise the profile. I think practitioners don't always know where to turn. Consumers will go off and find us and have a look, mainly online, or they're sometimes given details by practices. But for practices that don't know that we're there, I'm keen to raise the profile with them, so that they know they can turn to us and where to refer complainants to if they've not been able to resolve matters.